Hi, I'm Starry and welcome to class. Today we're going to talk about making a cyberpunk city in Clip Studio Paint. I have an A5 canvas set up here, and the first thing I want to show you is how to quickly find the center of your canvas. In Window, open Align and Distribute, and you'll see in your toolbar over here the Align and Distribute options. Then on a new layer, in your figure tools, select the straight line, and then you can click and drag from one side of the canvas to the other and hold Shift, and it'll create a line. Then in your Align and Distribute section up here, go ahead and find the Align Vertical Center, and that will automatically align it to the center of the page. Create a new layer and do the same thing, but vertically. Click and drag, holding Shift, and then use the Align Horizontal Center. And very quickly, we have a reference for the center of the page. I recommend combining these layers and then naming it Center Guide. You might also want to change the color of your layer, and you can easily do that by going into the Layers panel and then see this little box with the blue square. If you click it, your lines will automatically change to that blue color. If you want to change it to a different color, click the arrow, select Layer Color, and you can choose any color from the color wheel. Because we're creating a city where we're going to be looking up, we need 3-point perspective, and you can create a perspective ruler easily by going into Layer, Ruler, and Frame, and then Create Perspective Ruler. Then you'll want to make sure that 3-point perspective is checked, and click OK. And automatically we have a perspective ruler set up with 1, 2, 3 vanishing points. You can also create a manual perspective ruler by going into Ruler, Perspective Ruler, and then by creating your vanishing points one by one. If you want to adjust your rulers, use the Operations tool over here, which is the cube with the little cursor, and make sure that object is selected. With object selected, make sure you click the ruler icon in your layer palette, and then click on one of the guidelines, and you'll see these little handles pop up. This blue line in the middle is the eye level. If you want to adjust it, you can use this small eye icon, and you can move it up and down, and you can see that it adjusts the perspective depending on where the eye level is located. Once you have your ruler set up the way you like, you can toggle it on and off by shift-clicking the icon. You'll see that it pops up with a little red X telling us that it's not active, and then just clicking it again will reactivate it. Now check this out. On a new layer, I'm going to use the rectangle tool in the figures, and if I click and drag, it automatically aligns to the perspective ruler. Click again to confirm the direction, and you can build your city really quickly this way. If you want to jump straight into color, you can do that too. Under the rectangle tool properties, where it says Create Fill, go ahead and click that, and then you can select a color that you like. I have this color set Retro Night that I downloaded from the Clip Studio Assets page, and it's the same principle. Click and drag, and then click again to confirm. If the direction is wrong after you initially click, you can just move your mouse to adjust it. Super cool, right? I'm just making a very abstract cyberpunk city look. At this point, you can just keep refining your city until you're happy with it. You can keep adding layers and using the selection tools like the polygonal tool and the rectangle tool. They will snap to the perspective ruler. You can use your airbrush to introduce different tones, and you can use your gouache brush or another hard brush that you prefer to start bringing out more dimension and depth, and just play around with the colors. As I said, this is a rather abstract interpretation of a city, so I just had fun using this palette and experimenting a bit. Anyway, I hope this was helpful to you and that it gave you some inspiration on what you can do within Clip Studio Paint. And let me know in the comments what you're working on and what tutorials you'd like to see next. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!